Hey, smack that leg button.
Welcome over to the CrossFire podcast, where we have had one unbelievably unnecessary pregame show. But nonetheless, I am excited. It's Friday night, guys. We're kicking off the weekend. We've got a lot going on. I mean, I'm actually very, very, I got to say, pleased and overwhelmed that there's actually news to report on a Friday. Usually Friday, Mooch has got to be very creative. But a lot happened yesterday, and we're going to get into it. But before we do that, let me get into this fantastic panel I put together. The one and only, A Crap Gamer. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, what's up? Greetings, everybody. How's it going? It is me, the Crap Gamer. That's right, the Crap Gamer. Get it right. Glad to be here. We're gonna I'm excited to talk about in the long form this Microsoft Sony partnership. I mean, I did a little video about it, but it's much better to talk about it long form. So I'm really excited to kind of get into that and some deeper thoughts about what I think. So let's go.
Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. And then I've got Xbot 448. Xbot, how the hell are you doing tonight, buddy?
What's going on, guys? From what I hear, we are multi-streaming right now on YouTube and PlayStation After Dark. So, guys,
welcome to CrossFire After Dark.
It is a monumental night here. Guys, everybody in the chat, you guys got to hit the thumbs up right now. If we get so many thumbs up, I think we will get to hear Crap Gamer getting his sciatic massaged. What's
that's for this weekend.
I can't wait till I'm a visitor or a guest on next podcast. Xbot, you're gonna get that one back.
Oh yeah, I can't wait, dude.
Dude, I can't help it. I got a sciatic nerve damage, man. Come on, man.
This is true. And then I got
my all that cushion for the pushing, you know.
I got my hey, Italian club.
Sorry.
Florida. We got him making calzones. He's making pizza. He told me, Mooch, if you hear cooking in the background, I apologize. If you got cooking in the background, I got a one-way ticket right to Florida. Klaus, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up? Good news. We haven't sunk yet. We're still here, man.
God bless you guys down there. We're just starting to get good weather up here, so we've been very envious of you guys for the past 6 months. So I'm glad you're here, clowns. Good to have you. And we're really going to want your input on tonight's stories. I got news for you. And then I've got my special guest here. Let me start with someone who's been here a few times now. I streamed with him last night. We did Division 2. He's trying to pull me through so I can get ready for the raid. You know him from Scumcast. You know him as Slow-Mo Backslap. Slow-Mo, welcome back to the show, buddy. How the hell you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Having a good time. It's been a decent day. Not a great day now, a horrible day, but it's been all right. And as you said last night, we had some fun on that good old Division 2. So yeah, I'm having a good time, and I anticipate that this discussion with these topics is going to be pretty fire.
I think it's going to be fire, Slow-Mo, and to be honest with you, I don't necessarily know if everybody tuning in may agree with the panel, but I'll tell you right now, there's a lot that can be looked into on the first few subjects we talk about tonight, and I think there's some things that people are looking a little too far into, but we'll get into that in a second. Oh, yeah. And I'll make sure that I be asking you that at least first or second on the panel. And then I've got my buddy, a Predator. Pred, welcome back to the show, buddy. I'm glad to have you here. What's going on?
Not much. You guys should listen to the Smooth Sounds of CrossFire podcast.
Yes.
Welcome.
Oh my God. Yes.
My new intro is definitely going to include Predator. Gotta have it.
It's welcome to CrossFire After Dark. It's No Panties Friday, people. Let's go.
That sounded a lot like Goldblum doing that. All right. That being said, I've got my buddy here.
Where is that motherfucker?
He's busy working. He didn't feel good.
But come on, man. We got to get Goldblum in here. I love that guy.
Well, let me tell you who I do love. I got my buddy Noximus here. Nox, another New Yorker. Nox, how the hell you doing tonight, buddy?
Oh man, I'm doing good, man. Chilling, bro. Put out an episode of In Nox We Trust earlier today, so that's up there. And I'm eager to hear what you guys got to say, man, about the whole partnership with Sony and Microsoft, man.
Well, what are you talking about? What are you talking?
That was a great segue, but I got news for you. While we allow everybody, I'm going to do something I usually don't do. Just want to tell everybody that's in the chat, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate everybody to be listening later. Please do hit the subscribe button. It's that little button right down there, right by the thumbs up button that you also wouldn't mind hitting, or the bell. That being said, while everybody kind of shuffles in, I do want to go over
hitting that bell equals harmonica solos. Let's go.
Yes, that means, damn it. I almost want to retract the bell thought. All right, now, that being said, everybody, while everybody kind of shuffles in, something interesting happened this week. So we're not going to go right to the meat and potatoes yet. I want to talk about Rage 2. And I want to talk about, this is another game that people are saying they're having hashtag fun with. And that's fine. I don't know. I can't really comment on it. I can tell you my opinion on what I've seen, but I have not played it. But something disturbing happened with less than 48 hours after it was released. I was told that we got a $10 discount from Walmart. Now, my sentiments at first, my first reaction was, that's great. That's great. But the problem that I had when I saw that was, is this discouraging for people to pre-order or to buy the game day and date it releases when all of a sudden we've got sales coming out as quick as 48 hours? Or
absolutely not, Mooch.
Why
Absolutely
not?
I'll tell you this, because whenever you buy something, whenever you're an early adopter, them's the breaks, kids. I'm sorry to say it. You buy something day one, you're not entitled to a discount on day two. I'm sorry, that's not the way it works. You know the risk going into it. You bought the game, you wanted the game. If you didn't, do like what I did. Like, I'm gonna wait till this game drops to about $30. I'll pick it up. It'll probably be much better by then anyway, via patches and things like that. It's on you, kid. If you don't know what you're doing, hey, get out of the game. That's what I'm saying. Hobby is expensive. Get your games when you want it. And if you don't, wait for a sale. It's easy as that. These things, especially Bethesda games, right? These things drop. This thing will probably be in Game Pass in 3 months anyway.
Absolutely.
And it'll be $25, $30 at their next big sale. I can promise you that. So it's really up to the people, no matter what it is. Like, remember when, what was it? The Nintendo 3DS came out and it was super expensive and nobody bought it at first and they dropped the price and everybody bitched a fit. Hey, that's on you. You bought it. You were the one that had to have it day one. Other people can wait. There's still people waiting to pick up an X. I don't know why the hell you would.
I'm notorious for saying you get what you pay for, and you're getting something in. You do. You're getting the service of playing it ahead of time. But crap, it's really hard to argue 24 hours. Not a week, 24, 48 hours? Come on.
Yeah. 48 hours, man.
That's really unfair.
Right there. And
Boldly Beaver's dropping something. He dropped something.
Boldly Beaver just
Sonic
dropped a Mania code
on card.
Ooh,
DLC,
nice.
Yes.
That is an awesome game.
Shout out to the Boldly Beaver, who's been absolutely one of the. He's been a Mooch and crap fan for a long time. Always. By the way, Boldly, we appreciate a couple of phone calls in the MNC. We miss hearing from you on the show. Drops that code. Thank you so much. But yeah, crap. I understand where you're coming from with that. But I mean, I don't mind if it's a month later. 2 months later, people go, that's not fair. I could see them saying that, but it's just you got to play the game way before, 60 days before in the gaming business. Think about this, guys. 60 days after a single-player game launches, it's not that it's irrelevant. I don't want to use those words, but it's not the hot news anymore, right?
Hey, Paladin says disagree, crap, but hey, man, look, you're not entitled to anything in this world, honestly. You honestly have to earn everything you get. You're not entitled to anything. You don't have to buy this thing day and date. You can wait later. You're not entitled to a discount later. That's just how it works. Sometimes that's a hit or miss. When it comes to some of these games that Bethesda puts out, even the Wolfensteins and a lot of their games, they go down in price very quickly. You got to pay attention to trends. Mooch, we both know this, right? Don't their games go down very quickly?
They tend to, but that's also because they've run into something called just bad publicity in the past few games. But you are right. Even Wolfenstein. God, that hurts to say.
I don't know. Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein?
Yeah, Wolfenstein.
Damn, it's Wolfenstein. Oh, I just can't even say it. Wolfenstein 2 did get discounted. I think it was after about somewhere between 3 to 5 weeks. So
it's okay.
It's better, but it's not. I don't know if it's necessarily.
Guys, like when it comes down to it, like you said, even I feel even a couple weeks after, if it does drop in price, especially with a single player game, look at all the highly rated PlayStation exclusives out there, single player experiences, all that good stuff. And what happens? They drop in price quickly, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, you had a bunch of people pre-ordering the games. They got the game that was like the god number on Metacritic and everything like that. But then again, now if you look at what games are being played on that platform, in terms of the most like active people, none of those games are on that top 10, probably top 20 list. But a couple days after, if this becomes a trend, this is going to be a huge hit in that kind of like pre-order space, because if more and more people see that games like within 48 hours are dropping in price either at Walmart or at Best Buy or anything like that, you're damn straight they're going to look at where's my closest Best Buy, where's my closest Walmart. Do I really need this game on day one, or can I wait 48 hours?
If I'm not wrong, though, Xbot, you're playing Rage 2, or you have it, correct?
Yes, I do. Thanks to Sleepy Goblin, by the way.
Sleepy! I gotta send you all my information. Listen, I gotta tell you something.
Man.
What the hell, man?
Xbot, what's your opinion on the game?
Everybody's
Seriously.
getting my damn mooching.
Dude, first off, I feel like it's fun. I haven't gotten too far into it.
Right.
I actually want to play it after the show tonight. But I really want to get back in and play it.
What's the quick, the good, the bad, and the ugly?
The gunplay is good.
Yes.
The graphics not they're not anything to write home about. I even did a quick like a first impression on it.
Yeah.
For anybody out there who is an absolute graphic whore, like the game's got to look absolutely drop dead gorgeous for you to say the game is worth playing. Don't even bother playing this game. Just move on, people. But if you like an open world where you can look at a map and be like, man, I wonder what's over there. They got like secret locations.
Does it feel like Doom in a sandbox?
Not as much as what people are saying. I know a lot of people,
I'm watching video on it, and people are like, "Oh my god, the shotgun's great." Which, by the way, the shotgun was my favorite weapon in Doom.
Yeah,
and at the same time, it looks like Doom, but instead of hell, you're in like New Mexico.
If you played the new Doom, then Rage feels familiar. Now, where it branches off is with your special abilities, right?
Right.
I suggest that everybody go out and find the what do you call it? I want to call them vaults or something like that, but I forgot the name of them. But they kind of they house your special abilities, special guns, stuff like that in the open world. I highly suggest going out kind of like as soon as possible and finding those and fighting your way into those and getting your powers before you get like really into the story. Because I think a lot of people are saying the story is not too long.
Right.
So I would rather go out and get everything and have everything kind of like at my advantage, and then move along with the story, feeling like a super powered punk post-apocalyptic soldier. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
yes.
that's what I'm gonna do. To me, it's fun, man. I'm having a blast. I do like driving. I do like driving around. I know a lot of people said that the world was barren, but you run into altercations of people fighting each other, and you can just like swing the tail of your car out and just run all of them over real quick. It's a fun game. I just don't know what happened to fun. Like, people take fun in video games and they put it to the side.
Well, you know what, though,
that's supposed to be the main thing, man.
I completely agree with you, but you've got to look at it this way. Like, I finished and completed Crackdown 3, right? And I'll tell everybody right now that was definitely #fun. Mm-hmm. But like, I would also tell you, please God, don't spend $60 on it, right? I mean, that's just that. So I think what's happening right now is you have an influx of games. People are saying there's so many games coming out, there's not enough sand in the hourglass. So my point being is that right now, yes, it depends. And remember, we're in a different circuit here. You're talking to hardcore. You're talking to people that are buying 2-3 games a month, maybe. So when it comes down to it, people are being a little bit critical, not only to be critical of the game, but they're kind of being critical so that their own wallet can take a breather.
Brother, you heard me from when this whole thing started getting kind of like perpetuated out there. Like, everything has to have this heavy emotional story narrative, out there on social media and stuff. It's like, you know what, guys? At the end of the day, the main thing with a video game is to have fun. Now, you can have fun with something that isn't so emotional and story-driven. You can still have a blast, and it can still be a good game. I just feel like people are teetering more to one side, and they're forgetting that there's a whole kind of like spectrum of games that you can play. It doesn't have to be just this or it's trash. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, no, I do. Now, what about you, Pride? Pride, you've been a big fan of always getting in my my ear about, hey, Mooch, this is on sale. This might be a good deal. What is your take on something that releases on Tuesday at $60 and then it's $50 on Wednesday night?
I think that's a bit soon for it to drop in price like that. Like, it's different if like it says like, hey, if you pre-order it, you'll get $10 off. Like when Best Buy used to do their whatever shit they had, the program they had.
But that was different.
Yeah, that was different. Like you can pre-order the game, get a $10 off coupon or something like that. But like the game just came out, it's already $10 cheaper. I'm a consumer at the end of the day. If it's cheaper, God bless you, right? So, but I don't know if this is. I don't think this is a trend. I think this is the one-time deal. Maybe if it starts happening. So. I mean, and again, it's just physical. Again, I'm a digital guy, so. If I wanted, I still don't have this game. I'm still debating on if I want to pick it up on PC or Xbox. I have a backlog already. So adding one more game to it that I'm not going to touch kind of discourages me from picking it up right now. But luckily I waited. It's $10 now. It's $10 off now. So I can still get it on the cheap for the Xbox, I guess a little bit less. But like at this point, I would probably most likely wait a little bit longer to see if it drops in price again, because if I see it's dropping in price this soon,
yes,
it makes me think that it's going to drop in price again sooner than it normally would, because we like these games drop in price like maybe about a month or two. You know, it's $60 now, and then it'll drop down to like $39-$40, something like that. But like for it to drop down this soon, I'm just like, what's wrong with this? It's
telling,
game?
Isn't it? You know,
it makes you think something's wrong with the game.
You know, that's the thing. I think that they've already seen it's just like movies, guys. Okay, opening weekend at the theaters is the same as Tuesday or Friday for game releases. The spike on the first few days is very telling for these game companies. They see the numbers come in, they see that metric, and they go, uh-oh. You know, they have a number where they go, we're going to be okay. Then they have a number where they go, we're not going to clear this number at the end. I want to say real quick, shout out to Elemental PO. Says, Happy Kumbaya Friday, panel. It sure is Elemental PO to a certain extent. We're going to get into it.
We lit that candle, brother.
Yes, there's candles lit all around the world. Go ahead.
God, I remember losing my train of thought. So go ahead.
Like, because you guys were talking about, you know, initial sales, the spike and all that good stuff on release, and that definitely does mean something. But isn't the sale only at Walmart?
Yes, it was at Walmart, right? As far as I know. Yeah.
So isn't that
somewhere else too? I thought I saw it like at Amazon or something too. I may be wrong, because like
Amazon's going to match. They'll always match.
Some of these places price match.
Well, they'll always match, but I feel like this is more of a Walmart thing. Now, could you? I haven't bought a physical disc in like such a long time. Can you like pre-order at Walmart? Can you pre-order a game?
I think Walmart does those deals. Yeah, where they.
If that's the case, they might not have gotten a lot of pre-orders, and they might be thinking in-house, like we want to get this out of there. Why not? Slap a sale on it, minus $10, and
that kind of works against the thought of a pre-order, right? The pre-order is to give them an idea of what to order. So if they got bad pre-orders, that means they didn't order many.
All this is going to do is make people wait to buy games, and that's the point I was going to make. Like maybe their pre-order, sales numbers didn't match what they were thinking they were going to be.
Right.
Not just Walmart, but just the game in general.
That's what I think. I think it's the game in general.
Yeah, and they probably said, okay. Well, I mean,
why pick just Walmart to do the sale?
Again, everyone's going to price match it, so it doesn't matter if it's just Walmart. But at the end of the day, like I still don't think this game met sales figures that they were looking for. Either way it goes. So a lot of people were kind of waiting to see anyway. This time of year is not a good time to launch a game. There's been a few that come out and they've been mostly exclusives, like, stuff on PlayStation, stuff like that. But, leading up into E3 this late in the year, before E3 starts, like it's never been traditionally a good month to launch anything.
People are holding off. They want to see what's coming out soon, man.
So I'm guessing their sales figures didn't match what they thought they were going to do. And it's not, I haven't played Rage 2, so I don't know how good of a game it is. I've seen some reviews out there and stuff like that. And, talking to some people that have played it, but I mean, it's just kind of,
Well, let me ask this though. Slow-mo, you're a big time first-person shooter type guy. What do you think? Was this game ever on your radar? Do you own the game? Are you going to buy it? And what do you think of the $10 discount after 24 hours?
Every time I saw this game before it came out, I was like, "Oh yeah, Rage 2." Like every single time. Yeah, Rage 2. And then like 5 minutes later, I completely forgot that I saw an advertisement for Rage 2. Like it was like on my radar, but not too far on my radar. Like
yes,
I'm probably gonna wait on it because I've been burned too many times by buying games that I was like somewhat interested in. I paid full price for it, and then later on, I'm like, oh, that's in Game Pass now, or oh, that's half off now, and so now I'm just like, and I never even got a chance to play the game. So now I just don't even.
That's why, me, right? Usually I'll have an issue if something kind of radical comes out from the gaming media. I actually had no problem with Paul Tassi's headline when he said, does anyone else realize that like that this game's coming out and nobody knows? Because it kept on being like, oh, and don't forget Rage 2 is coming out in May. Oh, and don't forget. And like Slow-mo just said, that's how I felt. I was kind of like at the same time, I was like, oh yeah. Like,
why? Who was expecting the game this late in the year?
Well, that's the thing. This is really right from now until the end of August. It's kind of backlog city, right?
You know what I think? Just kind of like subconsciously had you guys be like, oh yeah, I know Rage 2, but kind of forget it. Is the fact that they're like this game. When you look at the world, you look at the gameplay and stuff like that. It screams some type of multiplayer here.
Yes, and that's another reason why I haven't picked it up because it doesn't have multiplayer. And when I tweeted that out earlier this week,
and they're like, no.
Every game doesn't need multiplayer, but this game screams multiplayer. Why would you not want it?
Agreed. It really, that was something that was shocking, wasn't it? I don't know.
Dude, that was one of the reasons why Snaps was like, you know what? We're passing on that game, because she was really excited about it, and then she heard there's no multiplayer, no co-op, or no PvP, no type of multiplayer whatsoever, and she was like, well, we're gonna pass on that. And then my brother Sleepy Goblin came in and was like, no, Xbox needs to have this game. Here's the code, brother.
That's well. Listen, that's what Sleepy Goblin's good like that.
Can I get a code, somebody? Can I get one of them codes, man?
Well, listen. While everybody's kind of getting here, remind everybody to hit that follow button, Listen, guys, I want to kind of get into it now. So there's the Microsoft and Sony partnership that everybody's been ranting and raving about for probably the past 24 hours, and I just went on and I kind of looked at a few of the articles that were written about it. And this one here, I believe, is from Gaming Bolt. And I'll just get this started, and then I'll go to the panel. It says here, yesterday we reported on highly surprising news that Microsoft and Sony came together for a collaboration in relation to gaming. It will be less about direct game development, so stop dreaming about Gears of War for PS4, and more about the two combining technologies for cloud-based infrastructure. And then he says, goes on to what it says about, and then that's really basically what they got into was the development of future AI, cloud development, and Sony probably going to be paying to use the Azure service, cloud-based service.
It makes sense,
right? It makes total sense. And I'm going to go. I'm going to start with Slow-Mo here, because Slow-Mo, you were kind of talking to me about this last night, and we talked about it before the show. I want the audience to hear it from a guest panel member, because they might go, oh yeah, Mooch crap, Xbox, you guys are all saying, no. I want to hear you right for the first time. Where do you
be our negative side?
He's gonna be the sound of reason.
There we go, man.
What is it actually, Slow-Mo, that you got when you saw what was going on? You saw the article, which is about 2,000 characteristics. It wasn't very long.
Yeah. I mean, it's a business deal,
right?
This is a business deal between Microsoft and Sony. They are working on cloud infrastructure. Sony's getting something out of gaming out of this, but this doesn't mean that now like this is what everyone was saying. I'm going to get to play God of War through xCloud. No, like where in the article did it say that? Like, people are going off and creating tangents and creating information that article, that any of the information that Microsoft and Sony have provided isn't there. This is a middleware / back end business partnership between two companies that are competitors in other ways.
Yes.
But in this way, they are not a competitor. This is about infrastructure and build and making business deals. For Xbox, they're making a ton of money.
They are going to be a competitor, though, guys. I don't know about they're not. It's not a competitor. They are.
Oh no, I didn't
say that. I said they are competitors in other ways. But in this area,
this deal is going to help Sony be way more competitive to one of Microsoft's services. Because if you think that Sony's not going to challenge Game Pass, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all wrong.
Well,
and they're going to use
Azure.
Right.
Okay, of course, the purpose is to build up game. So who they're going to compete PS with now?
That's rivaling services, though. So yes, they are going to be using this still to compete. But hey, Microsoft's making money hand over fist all around with this too. So it's all gravy, I guess, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a business deal where both parties are getting something out of it, but it's not what the fanboys think they're getting out of it. It doesn't mean you're going to play Gears of War on PS5. It doesn't mean you're going to play Horizon Zero Dawn 2 on xCloud. That's not what this means. But that's what a lot of people are out there.
Yeah, everybody's thinking that this is it, and the candles are lit, and everything's just going to be across. I don't see that. I think this is a smart move by Sony. Sony saw the one weakness they had. They said, well, wait a minute. We can go and pay. Microsoft's happy to do it, right? They're going to pay them. So they're making money, but at the same time, now it takes that one particular area that Sony was weaker on, and now Sony's got that. That's got
guys.
But what I'm also thinking, hold up, about real quick. What I'm thinking too is, right, we see what Sony benefits with this, right? Now, besides making money, which they can put back into, bringing us better shit, from on the Xbox side from Microsoft, right? What else could Microsoft stand to gain from this? I'm thinking they really want to go forward with that cross-platform play and cross-platform progression. Like I think that's definitely being brought up by Microsoft. Like, yo, yeah, like
this is where we go into this area of speculation over actually what they said.
Yeah, but this is realistic.
No, maybe somewhere down the line, you know, this business relationship is going great. You know, that everyone's kumbaya, holding hands, and you know, skipping in the forest and whatnot. And then they're like, okay, we like, hey, you know, let's revisit this cross play and cross progression stuff, since we sharing technology and you got your platform running off of our Azure service. Let's bring this stuff up. I mean, that is a potential thing that can happen. But the thing is that from what we saw and what we see, is that really going on right now? I don't think so. I mean, we have no evidence of that it is. All we see is, hey, PS Now is going to be running off of Azure pretty soon.
It's going to be running better.
can go in the dumpster.
And PSN becomes Xbox Live. So
yo, guys,
here we go.
Guys,
right?
Here we
go with the
it is though. It's gonna
they paid all that money for what then? Anyway,
Gaikai money.
Yeah. But yo, check it out.
Like 300 million for Gaikai.
380.
That was back when they were
fuck it. Them's the breaks, bro. They sold 100 million consoles. They good. They could take that.
Guys, you're missing out on something here. Now, first and foremost, you got to remember Microsoft is the creator of the Azure platform. So even though they struck a deal where Sony, they're going to help Sony with the infrastructure, they're going to use the Azure platform and stuff like that. Microsoft knows that thing inside and out. Another thing is the semiconductors. They're going to have Sony developing semiconductors for their data farms and all that good stuff as well.
And I think the AI.
At the end of the day, when you look at Xbox and what's going on with them, their hardware is going to have this integration with the Azure platform like no other company will have. So Microsoft, as a business, is going to be making money off Sony, but they're still going to have the better platform.
That is true. I mean, but you
see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, because from what Sony is providing, it's going to allow Microsoft to also open up more data centers around the world, so that latency for cloud services is lower. The more data centers you have, so that, like, let's say if you live in New Mexico, there's a data center that's within your state, therefore you don't have to try to be connecting to the cloud service in California or something like that. That makes things that improves the performance for sure. But I don't think Microsoft is going to be like, hey, we got you guys using the old servers, the old beat up servers that we don't want no more. We're gonna put those on PS Now and get the best ones for ourselves. I think it's going to be
still going to be an upgrade though if that happens.
People always, but Xbox, tell me if you'll roll with this one, Xbox. Here's your food analogy for the week. Microsoft's a big Italian restaurant. Sony says, my God, we can't make that same sauce. All of a sudden they make a deal and they strike it that now Sony at their smaller restaurant, they can sell a jarred sauce from Microsoft. It's not the same thing, but now they're getting that service on their side, which just enhances everything that they've already got working for them. So it's a win-win for both companies. Let's just be honest here.
And here, that's a good point, Mooch. And here's another thing, and here's a really big thing, or probably the driving reason why Sony chose to enter this agreement with Microsoft. You got Google right around the corner. You got Amazon trying to get their foot in the door in the gaming industry. Sony, and this is probably from their perspective, this gen, they curb stomp Xbox. They probably want that to continue. Now with this, they're being able to use the Azure platform, which is better than Gaikai, which is going to improve their PS Now, and they can still just continue to compete with Nintendo and Microsoft.
Right.
Versus this could potentially, with the number of gamers out there, if they're like, look, if I can get cloud gaming on PS Now and XCloud, what do I need a freaking Stadia for? This hurts Google in a way. And for Microsoft, they don't want Google in here. Google does a lot of the same stuff, the same services. They have their cloud infrastructure too. They do all the same government contracting that Microsoft does, that they make the majority of their money off of. They don't want Google in this place at all. You saw what happened after GDC. Phil got, sending like, hyped up memos internally or in the office. He don't do that crap for Sony.
No.
He does that for Google
feel,
because he does not want Google replacing where they
that's
are
who
in the
feel
game.
Their competition is like at the end of the day, like they feel like Amazon and Google, because we've been talking about it for a long time that they were looking to step into the console space, and of course there are some people out there like, yeah, that's never gonna happen. That's like so many years away, and then what happens? Stadia happens. Yo, I know me and Pred at least on one episode for next podcast, and Pred, you can definitely like verify this. We were talking about like when it comes to the streaming within next generation, Sony had to work a deal with somebody who has one of the top cloud platforms, and they just did that.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. We were like, what is Sony going to do? Because like I've always said, there's only room for 3. You can't have like in Google, Amazon, Microsoft,
Apple,
Sony,
everybody, right?
Everybody here in this mix in this space. Like there's typically only room for 3 competitors, and the 4th one usually gets fucking trashed, right?
Yeah.
After a while, the 3rd one kind of hangs on for a little bit, and it might filter off and kind of swap places with place number 2. But like we're always asking the question, what the fuck is Sony gonna do? Because they don't have this infrastructure that Microsoft has, that these other companies have.
You kind of make it. There's Coke, Pepsi, RC Cola's hanging on by a thread, and there's nothing after that, right? I mean, it's kind of the way it is. I mean, go ahead, Pred.
No, I'm agreeing with him. Like we did discuss this in the past, and like I think what Slow-Mo was kind of saying is true. Like they don't want Amazon, Google coming into this mix and taking over their gaming space. Like I don't think that Microsoft as a company looks at Sony as a company, as a competitor. Maybe between gaming systems, between Xbox and Sony, they do. But at the end of the day, their smart business move will be to move Sony into their cloud infrastructure instead of letting Sony go to Apple or Google or Amazon, because that's what would have happened because Sony didn't have that infrastructure. They absorbed that shit for a reason, to make themselves to stay relevant.
Let me just get a real quick element up here on the super chat. He says the deal guarantees better marketing budget for Microsoft services. That's what we're saying here. First of all, there's no real loser in this deal at all.
Nope.
Sony's getting the service. Microsoft's getting the capital. That capital is then going to be turned around for more. What is it there? They're I think Slow-Mo said it best there. They'll put that more into more research and development and reach for the cloud. My point being is that I just think a lot of people are thinking that this is all of a sudden going to mean that the Sony and Microsoft gaming catalogs will now be merged.
No.
I don't know who would think that though, man.
But this doesn't have anything to do with that. I mean, this is strictly business for services, and both make out so great on this. Crap, what is it you're reading into it when you saw this come out?
I mean, it puts an end to who has the better infrastructure, right? So,
well, to a certain, exactly. I would say that. That's my whole jarred sauce thing. If Microsoft's making the sauce, but they're selling it to Sony, yeah.
And I also want to disagree a little bit. Somebody said it earlier. I don't think natively you'll see, and I don't think you'll ever see PlayStation games on Xbox, but I do think it does open the door for something like Game Pass on PlayStation down the road.
But here's the thing, it does open the door, crap, but do you think that's something that Sony would welcome with open arms?
Hey, they just allowed EA access. They're partnering. They're basically saying our $400 investment for Gaikai was a bust.
Right.
Yeah, I would say so.
What about the timing of this? Like right before E3?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it makes sense to get this out of the way. It's shocking to me a little bit because you would never expect, like when you used to read article years ago, or remember Phil Spencer years ago was like, yeah, we like, I think somebody on Twitter was like, isn't Azure like a big advantage for you guys? And Phil was like, no, we'd offer it to Sony, anybody that wants it, right?
Yeah, he said that. Yeah,
and all the podcasts, well, the few podcasts that were around at that time flipped out about it, and we're like, well, how is that? Isn't that an advantage for them? No, it's in a business. But a lot of the sites and stuff were like, Sony would never do that because then it makes them look weak. But guess what? Here's the thing. Sony wins here because they get better infrastructure for their PlayStation Now.
Yeah. And
it also Microsoft wins. And I said this multiple times. Look, no matter what you do, whether you like this or not, okay, because this is a tough pill to swallow. If you buy Uncharted, it's using Havoc Engine, Microsoft wins. You buy Minecraft on a phone, Microsoft wins. You use PlayStation Now next generation, Microsoft wins, right? They're setting themselves up. like to win so
They've
much.
got their hand in every bag.
They do. Like that's why I say like the console stuff.
For years.
Yeah, like I did a video that probably went live like a little bit before the show.
Sabotage.
Like, yes. Well, I mean, like that's just the time that I'm used to doing my videos. But basically, it's like Microsoft doesn't give two shits about the console technically, and they still ended up winning because Sony's going to them now. Now, next generation, no matter where you game, you're paying Microsoft. Okay.
That
So, I
is
mean,
true.
it just kind of, it's very shocking. It's very, it's a very interesting thing. Like I would have never expected Sony to go to Microsoft or that. I mean, they had a couple of other options, but hey, we're going in, like I said, content wars. It's not the console wars.
It's money, not console sales.
Yeah, it's basically it's basically that. So like I said, the console war stuff is kind of over. I would expect Sony to just slap the piss out of Microsoft in the console sales next gen too, but it really is going to come down to the content. And I feel like Sony in the back of their mind is thinking, well, we've got much better content and much more better recognized content than Microsoft. So yeah, we'll be using their servers to host that streaming wise, but people are going to use ours instead of xCloud. So it's kind of a win-lose. It's kind of a win-win for Sony as well, because I feel like if you have xCloud, well, at least the way Microsoft's exclusives look right now versus PlayStation Now, and they're both equal platforms, right? They're both running the same quality. The edge goes to Sony because they have the better games, and I don't think anybody can deny that they've had the better games this generation.
Yep, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I want to see. Like, this is great for Microsoft, right? This is great for Sony, and we already see how it benefits Sony's gaming division, and this is great for Microsoft. Now we got to see how this is going to benefit Xbox. You know what I mean? What you gonna do with that for Xbox? How you gonna use this?
They're gonna get money for sure. Depending on how they, depending on how they decide to. Yeah.
Wait, would you say, Brad? I didn't hear you.
The money to buy Crytek.
Right?
Oh wow.
I mean, yeah, but hey, as long if that happens, then hey, then it's all gravy. Then we got something. You know what I mean? Because that would be dope. So that is exactly what I want to see. What the fuck are you gonna do with that money?
Like, how many multiplayer online games does Sony have though that would actually use?
Well, see, but Pred, I was just thinking that they said that they are going to focus more on first-party multiplayer going into next generation as well. They said they're going to focus on not necessarily having the same amount of exclusives that they had this generation, but kind of like focus more on quality and have a bigger focus on multiplayer as well. So that's another reason why this makes sense. Now you're not using that crappy ass Gaikai, and you're using
a hypothetical question, by the way, but I'm glad you answered it.
I'm sorry. Sorry, that's it. I quit.
You can't quit.
You can't quit.
This is a no quit zone. Let's go.
Okay.
No, I think you guys are all bringing up really good points. Knox, I wanted to ask you one last time here before we kind of move on here. You had a couple of points, and I think that they need to be heard. What's your true take on this as far as next generation is concerned? I mean, we know as far as the business deal they're both going to make out, but I do kind of see where Crap's coming away with this, and I saw some other people saying this over the past 24 hours, that now with Sony doing this acquisition, this merger, as far as this deal, it really does help their infrastructure, and that was the one part of the pie Sony seemed to be missing, and now they filled it.
And they're gonna use it. And Sony, and we just see Sony by their history, what they do. They're gonna come to win, so they're definitely gonna use this to their advantage, and that is going to be competing with Xbox brand. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. PlayStation versus Xbox. It's going to be there. Only thing, they're going to use this now to compete with them at that space versus the xCloud, versus the Stadia, versus the Amazon whatever, versus the Walmart whatever, because they all trying to do it, and they're just setting themselves up in a great position to be able to fight this battle. And Microsoft is in the best position because they dip it in everybody's pocket.
You give a great segue there too, Knox, and I'll start with you on this too. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I did watch the coming attraction for it. And shout out to Jez on Windows Central, who did a great ad on it too, or an article, I should say, on Minecraft Earth. This is like this, and this is not my bag. It's not my bag, but this is something that takes, I think, Pokemon Go and just takes it to the nth degree with Minecraft. This is something that Crap you were saying also just a few moments ago. Like, this is what they're going to be able to do. This makes their cloud, their mobile gaming, them making more profit. This is something that could be massive because Pokemon Go was an overnight sensation. And now you've got something here in Minecraft Earth, which looks to blow the doors off of Pokemon Go.
I didn't even. I saw a little something about it, but I don't know the.
Hey man, Microsoft kicking out those mobile exclusives, dude. I'm telling you, this is the PCs. It's not even PC is Xbox. It's Xbox is mobile. Mobile is Xbox. PC is mobile. Mobile is PC. It seems like that. Hey, Microsoft is in it to do something. I don't know. It was like, hey,
if they were doing a chart on some sort of dry erase board, they'd have Xbox on the left-hand side and they'd have arrows going to everything Crap just said. Xbox is to fill in the blank.
It is. I mean,
right?
Xbox is to. They're trying to get in on that market. Minecraft is a big IP, right? This is maybe something that
very
really,
big.
There's still millions of people playing that game.
Oh, it's like the most played game. Like, even though people really celebrate the GTA online stuff, apparently Minecraft has more monthly active users even. And so this could get people out there and like the Pokemon Go craze. Like, that was never my bag, but a lot of people like it. And so this could potentially be like a big money maker. Like, you can't deny, even if like this, I don't care about this shit one way or the other, but you can't deny that Microsoft's not setting themselves up to make a ton of money. Whether that's good for, whether that pays off and they're going to make more games or not, that remains to be seen. But they are very smart with how they're investing their stuff, and they're making really good hedge bets, in my opinion, right? Like, this is a very, very smart move on their part. They're making money no matter what. Like, wait till they start. If they team up with Nintendo as well along the lines,
yes,
they could be like this conglomerate. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody accuses them of a monopoly at sometime along the line. I'm super, just out of the blue. Like, this isn't console stuff, right? Like, to me, like I wish they would do some console stuff. And maybe that's going to be what E3 is going to do and like satisfy that thirst that I have for something console related new.
Yeah.
Right. But this is money making stuff for them. I'm not a manager or a business person. I don't really care about that side of it.
Right.
So I'm not as but it's going to, it seems like it's a very smart move on their part.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Slow-mo, what's your take on this? I mean, this looks to be like a Pokemon Go, but where you're walking around and actually building the world of Minecraft, which is, there is no world of Minecraft. The world of Minecraft is in each individual gamer's mind, right? So you're able to take your phone, it looks like your tablet, probably even maybe a light laptop, and create on the go and make this. It almost looks like it's an what is the word I'm looking for there? Not VR, but AR.
Yeah.
Right?
AR.
What's your take when you saw this? To me, it was kind of mind-blowing because Pokemon Go was just this quick, let's try it, and it was an overnight sensation. Heck, it was on the world news, for crying out loud. So this is something much bigger in Minecraft. What was your take when you saw it?
When I first saw it, I immediately thought, well, that makes sense. And then I thought, like, why didn't they think about this sooner?
Right?
I think they probably saw the success of Pokemon Go and was like, we could do that same thing too. And we have an IP that has a huge install base of people who are consistently playing it, but they don't actually have the ability to play it the way people are using Pokemon Go on their phones and everything. So yeah, I thought it's a great idea. It's probably going to do extremely well for the people who are really interested in that. So I mean, I've never even played Minecraft, so for me it's just like, all right, whatever. But I get it though. It's probably going to make them a shit ton of money. So.
Yeah, I thought it was a genius thing. Xbot, listen, I'm going to you because you're I like to think of you as the Gamer Census Bureau, right? And when I say that, Xbot's like, all right, everybody in the family in this room, I'm counting heads.
Count heads.
Right? He's like, how many?
I got a big enough family to do that.
Right? Exactly. It's exactly what Xbot will be like. I'll tell you right now, Mooch, I'm not sure. I wouldn't use it myself, but all the kids have spoken. It's going to be a hit. What do you think, though? I mean, this is
Dude, I'm scared. I'm scared to tell the kids about this. I know eventually they're gonna find out, and when they do, the 11-year-olds are gonna be like, "We want cell phones again." We already took them away because they weren't ready for them and stuff like that. But to be able to go out there and build a Minecraft world like through your phone, it's absolutely insane. I do agree with what Slow-Mo said. Like, why didn't they do this before? But I think they were developing it. I don't know if it's going to be as big as Pokemon Go, though, to be really honest with you, because when it comes to Pokemon Go, I think with Pokemon, a lot of people wanted to be the trainer. A lot of people wanted to go out and catch the Pokemon. I don't see I haven't talked to a lot of Minecraft people who are like, man, I wish I could just build that like right outside my house right there. You know.
Let me tell you where I think there's a bit. I can't say you're wrong, but I got to say this much: with Pokemon Go, everybody could kind of just download the app, try it for a little while, and grow tiresome of it. I mean, you had adults doing it, you had all ages playing Pokemon Go, which is why the numbers were staggering. In this case, you may not get all the adults because I think a lot of people on the panel will say they've passed on Minecraft over the years. But the one thing that Minecraft will do is it'll get most of the youth, and the youth will continue to buy things within the game. Where Pokemon Go again it lost a little bit of its luster once the adults said, not for me.
I might be a little salty on this because I'm like, damn, they were making this on mobile. Yet I've been waiting for what they call the super duper graphics update on Minecraft, where they go 4K, they improve the textures, the lighting, everything looks great, but they haven't given me that yet. I'm like, but you're messing around with mobile over here. And augmented reality. So I'm a little salty right now, but it is a great idea. Like Crap said, Predator, I think pretty much everybody on the panel, Microsoft is building up to make money, right? To make money, which in the end for the gamer, I know there's not a lot of people out there who cheer for the stock market, everything like that. But the more money that they make through Xbox, through games, whether it's mobile, whether it's, console, PC or whatnot, that's more money coming back in to develop to make more games, right?
Right.
So that's where I'm excited. Like, you're making this money. You're buying new studios. We have 343 ready to show off Halo. I can't wait to see more Gears. And when you look down the line, it's like, well, the future that road is padded by $100 bills and stuff like that because of what they're doing. When it comes to partnerships with cloud, when it comes to making this mobile game, when it comes to when they purchased the physics Havoc engine and stuff like that, they have set themselves up to just make money in every single direction in the gaming industry.
That's what I was saying on that dry erase board. It's got Xbox on the far left with arrows just beaming out.
They're
saying
just
PC, TV, mobile, this, that. Shout out to Rumpel Force who says, say hi to me. What's up, Rumpel? I appreciate that. Thank you for filling in that last part, Fred. That being said, I think that Xbox guy gave me a great segue into what I think is something that most people are dismissing at this point in the week. But I don't know if it's been debunked. Please let me know. But the rumors of Gears 5, not only the release date was kind of swirling around earlier this week, but then there was also the concept art. And we haven't heard in either direction that either were going to be rubbish. I think that it quite possibly could be something that comes to fruition. I'll start with Slow-Mo. Slow-Mo, you being the guest tonight, I really want, the guest that hasn't been on as much as Pred and Knox lately, but Slow, let me tell you this much. A lot of people are really, really kind of conflicted on this. They don't really care for the date as much, and a lot of people think the concept art was made by Mooch. You know what I mean? So, and I can't draw. So my point being is that, what's your take on it? Did it seem a little weak for you?
I kind of agree that the cover art looked like somebody just threw that together on the weekend, had a little fun, said, "Hey, look what I made. Doesn't this look somewhat legit?"
Right.
But I think that date makes sense. I mean, that date could be real.
That date's very possible.
Although it is kind of coming up against Borderlands 3. The GOAT of looter shooters.
Yep.
So, but I think the demographics are different enough where they can actually launch the same week as Borderlands 3 and not like take a hit on sales or anything like that, or take a hit with people not trying the game out. Gears has its own audience, and they're either going to get Gears and not get Borderlands, or they're going to get Gears and Borderlands. So it's like it's a whole different demographic, and it's not going to be a problem.
What's Borderlands' release date again, Slow-Mo, if you don't mind me asking?
The 13th.
Okay, now that and this is rumored to be the 10th. I got to be honest with you, I do
not
think
buying it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I'm a huge Borderlands fan, so and of course Gears as well. So I would be buying. I'm in the camp that would buy both.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't see why you wouldn't want to go. And again, they know all what's coming out later on. Why wouldn't you go the end of September in this case? Like, let people have 2 weeks with Borderlands and get their fill, right? Get their 40 hours into that. And then, boom, just blast it. You know that Sony's not going to have anything big this fall that we know of yet. unless they do a surprise around E3 and do their state of play and release dates for The Last of Us 2, which I highly doubt. I really do. I highly doubt that. I think this Last of Us 2 comes out April, May of next year.
Because they don't care about Borderlands. Like exactly what Slow-Mo just said. Like it's almost like a different group. There's a dedicated Gears fan base.
Absolutely.
They're going to be what, Borderlands? Oh, that multi-platform. Yeah, it's gonna do good.
Xbox, you're saying it's safe to say to ignore Borderlands? You know what I mean? I don't. Yeah. That's a bit much to say.
People are so people get so sensitive. Like, oh man, you shouldn't release this game because of that game over there and that game over there. Guys, calm down.
Yeah, but Xbox
Borderlands should be moving out of the way for Gears. It shouldn't be the other way around.
Agreed.
Yeah. And here's another thing. It's in Game Pass.
Oh, Craig, can you say that one more time for me, man?
It's in Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
His voice goes down. Well, Atrocity Knights agrees with you. He says, I'm Game Passing Gears and buying Borderlands. Well, there you go.
And that's going to be a lot of people. That's why I said that they're going to get their engagement. They're going to get a lot of people. They're going to be able to brag about how many people chainsaw the and everything, and they're going to be
8 million people chainsawed somebody while eating a ham sandwich. I can hardly wait, man.
They're going to be bragging about all that stuff because
those stats.
A lot of people are going to. I mean, there are going to be a lot of people who are going to buy it straight up too, but there are going to be a lot of people who are going to say, you know what? Why spend $120 when I can just spend 60 on Borderlands and then Game Pass Gears?
Right.
Slow-Mo, I'm there with Game Pass. I'm not even picking up Borderlands.
Plus, we should get a custom console too,
Xbox, you think Destiny is the greatest thing ever. So I understand why your taste is a little off right now.
We're getting Penumbra. Calm down, man.
Real quick, Elemental PO in the chat says, well, it's not like Microsoft doesn't have money to advertise Minecraft Go. I think he means Minecraft Earth, basically, on TV everywhere. No excuse this time. No, Elemental PO, that's a great point. I want to say shout out to Lady Foxfire, who's here tonight. She's the biggest Gears fan I know. It's all about Gears 5. Borderlands, who? I can't disagree with a lot of people that are that sentiment. But I mean, Borderlands 3 is going to be a big deal. I know that it's not in the world of Gears, and I don't know if it was Slow-Mo or it was Pred who said it, but one of you guys kind of nailed it and said that maybe Borderlands should fear Gears. In this case, I agree with you guys. But
at least on the Xbox platform.
Why not? But why not have a solid 2 weeks that's dedicated to your title for advertising and purchasability? And I got to say something to Xbot 448. Xbot, me and you have some great debates on the show. And the one thing that I think that me and you are always going back and forth with is when you discuss things, you always discuss things in terms of the hardcore. And what you just said was absolutely spot on for the hardcore. But there's a lot of people that don't feel like spending $120. That's if they only get the standard edition in each respective game in a matter of 3 days.
Well, hold on. Predator basically said it for you, man, with the whole Game Pass thing.
What if they don't have Game Pass? Now all of a sudden they're not going to buy it for $9, $10. They're going to buy a year of it. They're going to spend $120.
But then that's on them because look, bro, if you get Borderlands, if you can't. You get Game Pass for $10 in a month. You'll beat Gears, bro. You'll enjoy that shit, and you get it done for $9.99.
But you know,
for $9.99, yeah.
Knox, I can't really argue with your numbers in your fact sheet right there because you're not wrong. But I mean, anybody who's going to sit here and tell me how much that Gears of War is actually the more fearful.
You get to play Gears and Borderlands for $75.
Right, but Gears of War you're playing that game for way more than a month, man. The multiplayer doesn't even pick up. That's how whole thing's going. You're going to be playing 2, 3, 4 months.
Really touch the multiplayer in Gears, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah,
Horde mode, baby.
Yeah, I'm with Pred on this.
Yeah, I'm saying a person like me is going to definitely pick up both. You know what I'm saying? But
listen, I put an easy 100. I believe 100 hours. I got to look at the stats. I love how the stats are always on the app. I got to look at the stats. I easily 100, 150 hours into the multiplayer of Gears. It's so much fun, and I think it's part of the experience. Again, that's a me problem, but I mean, I don't know if anyone's just going to be like, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll just Game Pass it for. That's like the same thing as like saying, well, you could have done with Gears all this time. You could have just game flied it.
The thing is that people that are gonna buy Gears are gonna buy Gears hands down. That don't matter. You're gonna buy it. The hardcore's gonna buy it, and people gonna buy it. And the people that can't afford to buy it have the option to play it for a month for $10.
And GameFly is like what, 3 games? Game Pass is like almost
And the
200.
thing is that GameFly, you gotta wait for it, you gotta pay for it. Nobody wants to say
Listen.
this shit right here. You subscribe, it's instant. You
Shit
got
right
it.
here?
You're done.
The thing about it though is I don't think GameFly had 10 games. I think they had more than that. But I mean, it really is. It's the digital version of GameFly. And that's not a knock by no means. But like we used to say all the time, when people are going to go out there and buy Gears, if you already have Game Pass, I have Game Pass, but I want to own Gears 5. And again, I'm speaking as a hardcore fan, right?
You're going to. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'm saying and that's me. That's a me thing. But I'm telling you guys that there's a casual gamer out there that does not have Game Pass right now, right? And he's going to go, I'm a huge Borderlands fan, but I like Gears as well. So someone's getting one of those companies. Why not get a dedicated 2
Dude,
weeks
you're
to yourself?
casual. You're casual person that you're talking about. Let's be real here. When we're talking about the casual market,
Yeah.
you talk about looter shooters. That doesn't really appeal to the casual market. Getting on the grind for a certain weapon or something like that.
Borderlands
But
is not that
Gears-
looter shooter though.
But Gears, on the other hand, with that story and those graphics and that the possibility to get into that multiplayer and stuff like that, I think that the casual you're talking about right there will switch it up and be like, man, I'm a huge Gears fan, and I also like Borderlands 3.
Well,
What if Borderlands is in Game Pass?
No,
It won't be for a while.
It won't be for a long time.
Do
Yeah.
that to him, Brad. Don't
I'm
do
just
it.
saying.
But I mean, I think we are somewhat dismissing Borderlands or taking it a little too lightly. They're talking about a franchise that sold over 40 million copies.
Right.
Yeah,
thank
but
you.
it can't fuck with Gears
How many
though, bro.
platforms?
What are you
Okay.
talking about? It's a
It can't-
multi-plat. It's on every platform.
Yeah. So it's automatically.
It's
if it
going
was
to
It's an
out there.
Epic exclusive, though,
Let it
right?
be known right now.
20
You heard it
million.
from me right now. This is a slow-mo guarantee. It's going to outsell Gears 5.
Well, it's got more.
On
It can
Xbox,
reach more
are you
people.
talking
Possible.
on
But
Xbox?
I'm talking
Yeah.
about
why,
on
which is
Xbox,
why
on
they have
Xbox.
nothing to worry about. They have a quality game. It's Borderlands 2 is in my top 5 at all time
love
as
it.
far as
Yeah.
games. It's an amazing game
Love
that
it.
people still play today. Today, people still play that game.
Yeah, the numbers
So-
on that game are staggering too. People don't realize how powerful. That's why when people are like, "Come on, it's just Borderlands." I'm
Dude,
like,
it's
"Well,
a
I don't know if we can say
successful
that."
Multiplat, of course, but and yo, slow mo. Like, to be really honest with you, if you put a multiplat up against an exclusive, 10 times out of 10, the successful multiplat will always have higher quote unquote sales numbers than an
Of course, they
exclusive.
reach a broader audience.
Well,
dude.
that-
There's
but
gonna be
Xbox-
high
Xbox-
numbers.
I
That
gotta break.
doesn't always work. I mean, Far Cry 5 last year was a successful multi-plat that got outsold immediately by Spider-Man as soon as it jumped
Yeah.
into the scene.
Because that shit is that hot. Yes.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Borderlands 3 is
but
going to be
they-
that hot, man.
Well, listen,
everybody,
everybody.
it is. It is.
Most people
Yo,
get paid.
Slomo, don't you remember brother? Don't you remember when people saw Crackdown? They don't like the cell shaded graphics, bro. There might be a turn down because of the way Borderlands looks. It's not that realistic game though, bro.
Have you seen Borderlands 3?
Oh, I've
Borderlands
seen
3
it.
is beautiful,
I've seen it.
downright gorgeous, if I have to say.
I'm just putting people to the task.
Listen,
that,
I want to go back
I
to my
feel you, I
original.
feel you.
Let me just go back to my original point, Xbot, again. For the casual that's not in Game Pass, okay, and a lot of the casuals don't know about Game Pass, okay, that's the 2 billion number out there. So even if we're going to believe the 9 million Xbox Game Pass subscribers, which is probably a bit inflated,
believe it, bro. Believe it.
okay,
It's truth.
my point being is people get paid every 2 weeks. If I'm Microsoft and I caught wind, or even let's flip the coin. If I'm Gearbox and I caught wind of the release date, I certainly would not. I would rather have a dedicated 2 weeks to myself for sale.
They don't give two shits about each other. They feel like they are different demographics. They're different type of gamers. And when it comes to the coalition, let's be real here. On social media, they deal with hardcore Gears fans.
I don't know about the two different types of gamers. You're talking about shooting and blowing things to bits. That's the same exact thing that's happening in both these games.
There is such a dedicated gamer base when it comes to the
Gears versus Minecraft, two different gamers.
Talk to Foxfire, man.
Well, I can't. Fox is completely Gears 5.
I do agree with Xbox with that. Like, Borderlands is a loot shooter, whereas Gears is a cover shooter. Well, yeah, a cover shooter.
Third person cover shooter.
Yeah. So it's they're both different perspectives.
They're not identical,
one's first person,
but
one's third person.
They're close. I mean, that's like saying you hate Doom, but you love Wolfenstein.
Man, they're gonna
but like people in Borderlands will like go like farm a boss like 50 times to get a drop. Like that's stuff you see in Destiny, in the Division.
And is that a trait of a casual gamer right there? So
well, here's one.
Not at all.
No.
Xbot, here's one for you. And shout out to Irodell. He says, Mooch, read my super chat. It's a great point. He's right. Destiny 2's year 3 begins in September.
Dude, I tried to tell you to read
the big expansion. Gears and Borderlands might need to watch that. You know what? Not a bad point, Irodella.
Gears doesn't have to worry about that. And you know, to a certain extent, I don't think Borderlands even has to look over at that. I mean, when you look at it, the Destiny 2 community is like the Halo community, man. They are never happy no matter what. Like, even if they did a bunch of great things, they're going to find another list of like 80 things that Bungie needs to do to make it better constantly.
Well, I mean, didn't Bungie just yesterday like nerf every good gun that everyone liked in the game?
The worm, man. They nerfed the worm.
So yeah, like this is Bungie once again shooting themselves in the foot.
Yep.
So like I really don't think neither Gears nor Borderlands needs to worry about Destiny. Destiny right now is a game that people, if you're not playing Destiny, you're not going back to Destiny. It's pretty much like they're just trying to maintain their community until Destiny 3 comes out.
Exactly, Slow-Mo. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, myself personally, I've been told even to get from 650 to 700 is just an absolute grind to the nth degree. Myself personally, I'm not going to be able to go back.
Like walking barefoot over glass. That's what you're doing.
Not, yo. With Black Armory, with like all the powerful gear you get from Gambit Prime, Black Armory, Crucible, Strikes, Nightfalls, like, dude, they are handing you powerful gear left and right. Like, it is not a grind whatsoever.
I mean, are you going back to Destiny?
I've been playing it, man.
Yeah, but I mean,
it is definitely a grind to get your light level up.
Dude, it's a lot easier than before Gambit Prime came out and Black Armory came out. Stuff like that. Then it was a grind. I was playing through that.
Let me give a quick shout out.
Easier now.
I think he's retyping it somewhere, but let me give a big shout out to Rock Dog, who's in the chat here. He's going to be sending another message, I think, through. But shout out to Rock Dog. The board game Renegade says harmonica time crap. Damn you, board game Renegade.
Harmonica time.
That beats, and then I got Sir X. Jeez. He'll be here all night, folks. Don't forget the tip crap. That being said, Rock Dog said, why should Gears move? Let Borderlands move. Rock, you're not wrong. And that's exactly what some of the panel members are saying. Let me just give a quick shout out to Sir X-Man. He says, people do buy the other games they want 1 and 2 weeks later, because they can't play both of them at the same time.
Well, here's the thing. I think Gears is going to be fire. It's going to be amazing. The problem is Xbox people haven't been buying their games lately. There, I said it.
Well, wait, you mean they haven't been buying Xbox games?
Yeah, they haven't been buying their Xbox games.
How did Gears 4 sales do, crap?
Apparently, it underperformed. So, there's that. This one, I think,
15 million consoles out there that would have sold. Or is it?
What's that?
What?
So maybe if they had more than 15 million consoles out there, would have sold.
Exactly. Exactly.
25.
Crap. Dennis Haas says that Crap Gamer just played the musical score for Gears 5 with his harmonica. That was awesome.
Absolutely. I'm amazing.
I think Sir X-Man actually, Sir X-Man, bravo to you. I like your point. It kind of debunks the Mooch's thought there. He says, you know what? You can't play both games at the same time anyway. He's right. So people might buy one and then buy another one. I don't know. That's just my whole thing.
Here's the thing. Also, like Slow-Mo said earlier, there's been a longer wait for for the Borderlands game. Well, Borderlands 2 came out. The 360 was still the king. That tells you how long ago it was, right, folks? Xbox was on top.
Boom.
Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, people are definitely going to be what was it? The pre-sequel sucked. People didn't like it. This is made by the team. Randy Pitchford is out there slapping people around. It's back. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is what it's all about. Your Epic Game Store exclusive. Borderlands is going to sell way more than Gears. And that's just a fact because it's on more platforms. You got 100 million on the PS4 side. Gears is going to be fine. but obviously Borderlands is no joke. People are excited for this game.
Yeah, no, I'm uber excited for that. I think this is gonna be a great fall. Great fall we got lined up. Real quick, guys, just to switch subjects.
Hey, thanks, RKDO. Crap always has something annoying. I sure do, buddy.
There you go, Crap. But the Splinter Cell devs, Crap, did something that I thought was interesting, and I personally, when I saw that, they tweeted out the whole kind of hinting towards the Splinter Cell game coming out, and we're working on it. And you see a lot of devs kind of collaborate and get together and do these ridiculous selfies and post it out there. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. That's the way they want to announce their game. That's the way they announce. And then later on, they're like, psych, just kidding. And it's like, who the hell was laughing? Like nobody was. That wasn't
nobody.
Like first, there was a lot of people that didn't care, and then the other people were kind of like, why would you do that? So, I mean, what was your guys' take when you read it initially, and then you found out it was just a farce? What do you guys think?
I don't know if it's a farce. I think maybe that they were just covering that up. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's just a joke. That rascal. What a rascal that guy is. Yeah. Like,
really? You think this may still be something that we see at E3?
Yeah. Why, dude? It's coming. Like, there's too much corroboration for this, right? It's happening. It's going to be on Microsoft stage most likely, and they probably got marketing rights for it. So, I'm excited to see what it's been way too long. This game, I have a feeling the reason why we've had to wait so long is because this one's going to be more of a games as a service type game than the previous ones. And I don't know, that might be a tough pill to swallow for some people, but I'm interested to see kind of where it leads. Look, Ubisoft, are they wrong? I mean, look, their Assassin's Creed games are more games as a service. What is it? That Rainbow Six game what just broke some kind of record.
Yeah.
Like these, they're making money. People, yeah, exactly. And it's more popular now than when it launched. And they got hate when it launched because it lacked content. So look, Microsoft isn't the only ones doing this thing. It's like a way to keep people engaged with your content. So hey, I wouldn't be surprised. And when I say games as a service, it's still gonna have single player, folks. I just mean that they're gonna do like dailies or something like Spy. They're gonna have some kind of multiplayer that involves content that needs to be paid for and updated and things like that.
Right. I mean, all right. So let me ask this, Slow-Mo. I'm going to go down our guest list here. I'm just interested because myself personally, I've always said that I think hard work and dedication. Stay off Twitter. Stop with the goofy stuff. Stop taking pictures of your sneakers and pictures of you guys all drinking and partying. We know you guys are living an elaborate life. My point is, what did you think when you see these guys all cheersing and having Dom Perignon and they're like, hey, we're just starting this up. We're going to get this bad boy going. Everything you guys always wanted. Nope. So, what was your take, Slow-Mo, when you saw this?
When I first saw it, my initial thought was, yes, right, yeah,
right.
Finally. But
right.
then I looked at the names, and so like Julian, the guy who tweeted out Julian, he's the creative director for the Division 1 and 2, and I'm like, why is he working on this?
Right.
Then I saw the other names. I'm like, these guys are creative directors for Ubisoft too. Wait a minute. This has got to be a joke because there's no way like these guys, they would get one guy to do that group to do that. And
then you look at your calendar and you saw it wasn't April 1st and you're like, what the hell's going on?
Exactly. And then I saw the wine and I was like, okay, he's just drunk.
These guys are twisted.
He's drunk.
Right? I mean, that's why I don't think it's a cover up. I really think it was them just goofing off and they know that they're going to get people to run with it. And they even had some media running with I don't know if like articles were out about it, but I know that they were like retweeting it, being like, holy shit. So, I mean, I don't know. Myself personally, I thought it was kind of done in bad taste. I do think somebody said to them, hey, take it down because that's ridiculous and you're going to mislead people. And it kind of hurts the franchise a bit. It's like crying wolf.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was my take on it. What do you think, Pred? Knox?
I think it's legit. They've been talking about Splinter Cell for a couple of years now. I might get my
They or us?
They and us. Okay, so we've heard talks about Michael Ironside doing voiceovers again. We've seen that they've redone the trademark a couple of years ago. When I did my Ghost Recon video when I first started podcasting, I did it with some of the guys from that played the Ghost Recon game. We talked about behind the scenes a little bit about it coming out. So I know it's in the works. Now, whether or not it's going to be shown at E3 is a different story, but I know it's there. I know it is. It's got to be. It's one of their best franchises, you know. So like they have to release this. It's
okay. Let me counter this for a moment. So like last year we heard from Michael Ironside doing voice work because they had Sam Fisher and Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Yeah.
So like we don't know whether he's still doing more or not. And I know there's some people now. I can't verify this. These aren't my sources. I don't have sources. My sources are me. But other people who claim they got sources said, yeah, they were working on Splinter Cell, but they canceled it. Now, look, yeah, it is a big franchise, and it has been has really put Ubisoft on the map. But look at this right now, and they have not actually made a Splinter Cell game in this gen. The last one came out at the end of last gen,
2013. Blacklist.
In this gen, they have Rainbow Six Siege that broke $1 billion in revenue.
Yes.
They got Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins that sold well. 5 is their best-selling game in this gen. They got the Division 1 and Division 2 that both sold well. Mm-hmm. In their eyes, they're like,
no, hell no. That would be ridiculous. Why would they think that? They should.
That would be backwards.
That would be backwards thinking.
How was that backwards? They did all of that without Splinter Cell.
They didn't know how good games are gonna do.
And with Splinter Cell, how much more better they're gonna do? You know what I mean? There's no point in them not releasing a Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell isn't like any of those games that I just mentioned.
They're trying to make it to those.
Okay, so it's not going to be the Splinter Cell that you enjoy.
Why not?
It's going to be an open world co-op.
I never even played the co-op. I played the single player, but like that's what I was interested in. But if they add something else to it, I'm fine with it. But like
they're going to add a little bit more than something else to it.
Yeah, but keep in mind, like if they were going to make Splinter Cell, they wouldn't wait to see how Ghost Recon and that they would have had this game in the works like years ago.
I'm with games evolving, bro. I'm not one of them people that be like, no, I gotta be the same way. Nah, I want to take the gameplay, take the core gameplay that I like, the stealth aspect of the game and all that good shit, the bells and whistles, and put the hot game out, and that's it. You want to add something new, of course you have to innovate, change it. I know it can't stay the same, but not making one is pointless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think you both made some outstanding points. To be honest with you, myself personally, it's funny because the reason you say, "Well, Mooch, why are you sitting back listening?" I've never really played any of the Splinter Cells. It's not really been my bag. Yeah,
Mooch, I just want to let people know I need another Splinter Cell because ever since Assassin's Creed decided that they were going to build their games from the ground up with action adventure, or you can just be stealthy instead of stealth from the ground up. A spot has been missing in my gaming life.
Wow.
So I need Splinter Cell back, and I need it from the ground up.
Okay.
He needs it.
I need it
now.
He has to have it.
You know, guys, I feel you. I feel you guys, and I know you guys are being 100% honest with this. You guys love Splinter Cell. You want that Splinter Cell. You got that feeling. You know, you need to have it back in your life. It's like that girl that left and she was good to you in bed, and you missed that. Like, I know you want that back, but the thing is, right, is that like Ubisoft,
especially now that they know Metal Gear,
is the casual audience going to pick this game up? Or are we going to get more than 5 million copies for this game?
Casual audience for a game that I want? Fuck them.
See, you talking about what you want, but they're not going to make a game for you.
I'm going to keep asking.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that want that game. It's not just
the hardcore audience can't wait for another Splinter Cell. The casual audience probably has, because it's been so long, has never played one or forgot it existed.
Oh, it's all right. Don't market that bitch. They'll get it out there. Get the word out. You know what I mean?
Damn it, I'm getting my Splinter Cell.
Hey, look, man, Prince starting to scare me. He about to fly out to
he's getting serious over
there, right? Go up at headquarters, like, yeah, I need to talk to CEO right now.
That is pacing back and forth with a wireless headset.
That word again. until it releases. If they don't announce it this year.
Well, listen, I got to be honest. It's one of the first time that the super chat's actually going to do a segue, but I'll talk about this, and then I have a big subject before we close out the show. Element Appeal says, last chat for crying out loud. It's time for nostalgia. Absolutely. He says, Mooch, Castlevania Collection's releasing Sega Mini Pack in Games Don't Suck. Thoughts, buy or sell? Who's yelling? Element Appeal. I am all over that Castlevania collection. And I tweeted this out yesterday, guys, and I'll be honest with you. I'm going Switch. I'm all about the Switch life for this Castlevania game. I mean, I grew up playing it on the NES. I can't play this thing with I know the Xbox controller is great. We know it's great. But for some reason, I got to play this thing on a Nintendo system. Are you guys going to pick it up?
You don't need a great controller for a flashback 2D platformer like that, brother.
Don't ruin my childhood, Xbox!
I'm just saying. We had rectangles with like a red A and a red B button and a direction pad.
What's in the collection? What's in the Castlevania? I didn't even know about that.
Oh, it's Castlevania 1, 2, 3, and then it's got 3 more games. One of them is from the Game Boy. Another one is from God Almighty. I think they also have not Super Castlevania, but Castlevania 4. And then there's one other one that even the people who love it are saying it's not great. So there's one in there that's kind of a bummer. But it's $19.99 on all systems. And for me personally, that's what listen, there's nights where, you guys will go, oh, you know what? I'm not going to game tonight. I'm chilling watching YouTube. I like to take the handheld portable. I can play that on the couch, just chilling on the Switch. I play my Switch 90% of the time docked. But Castlevania, I can definitely play that handheld. I get it. That's not a hard game to play. Those 8-bit games are just not hard to play that way. I'm down. Knox, you say you're in?
Yeah. Yep.
How do you pass on it for $19.99? You're getting 4, 5, 6 games. They're great.
Shit, just for fucking Simon's Quest, I'm in there, kid. I play that shit.
Well, the Don says Mooch playing old games. This is not old. This is nostalgia, and it's a hell of a drug, Don, if you haven't heard.
So, $2 to hear Mooch shout, Arthur!
Arthur! My God, we had to deal with that for 3 months.
Dude, the guy down the street from Mooch's house, his name is Arthur. He just looked up.
Yeah, he keeps looking out there like the mailman's coming. He's like, what? Oh, that harmonic, if it only broke in half. Listen,
that is music to nobody's ears right there.
Hey, the chat loves it, man. They
sure do.
They love it.
Sure do.
Yes.
Crap, let me get into this. I really want to get this opinion. And shout out to Sully Gadang, who's in the chat. Sully said this one thing to me, and I've been talking about it every day I know. I say, buddy, don't give me this nonsense. So here's the rumor. Rumor is that Lockhart is going to have half the GPU performance of the Anaconda, but the same CPU. Okay? And we've all kind of said that the Lockhart is probably going to come in somewhere around, $399. So if you own an Xbox One X or an S, you're going to get somewhere between, for the two, not combined. The S will probably get you around 200. I would assume the X will get you somewhere around 250.
What's the sad edition going to get you, Mooch?
I don't know. Maybe an IOU. I'm not really sure. Sade.
Oh.
Yes, thank you. Brad, that's great. I got to be honest with you guys. There's really I don't really see as a hardcore fan, if you're going to upgrade, why you wouldn't go for the Anaconda over the Lockhart. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, if you say you're going to keep your X and not upgrade, that's fine.
That makes sense as well.
What do you guys think? I mean, are you guys keeping your X? Are you going to upgrade? Where are you guys on next generation as far as this Lockhart?
So far, man, I gotta I game mostly on the Xbox platform. You know that. I sold my PS4. I play Switch every once in a while and stuff like that. But I do want to see kind of like the new features and everything that the Anaconda has to offer, and as opposed to the Lockhart as well, because you're going to look at a price difference here. But I think I can speak for everybody on the panel. Like, we're basically all hardcore gamers. If we're going to upgrade, we're going to actually upgrade and get the best of whatever platform we're buying. So that would definitely be the Anaconda. I could see that all the way down this line of panel members right now, man.
Well, Slow-Mo, last night we talked about this while we were streaming, and you had said that at this point in time, the way things are, if things don't change and these rumors are all true, you're leaning towards keeping your Xbox One X for the day one purposes of playing Halo and Gears and all those great games, and you'll get a PS5, and then you'll wait and pick up an Anaconda possibly later.
Yep, and that's where I'm at right now. I don't see. I mean, and I appreciate Microsoft doing this for me. where the games are going to be forward compatible to the Xbox One X. I mean,
they appreciate you buying more games, by the way.
Exactly. Hey, it's a mutual benefit. So I'm like, hey, look, if that game runs well on my X, then I'm good. I don't feel the need to upgrade. And if I do upgrade, I'm definitely not getting a Lockhart. If the Lockhart isn't that much of a upgrade over the X, then I mean, I'm not spending.
They're saying it's going to be a 1080 60
like
machine, so you're not even going to get your 4K out of it.
Yeah,
but,
so yeah, I mean, I would only really consider the Anaconda.
But slow-mo, the one thing to consider about the Lockhart with it having the same CPU is kind of like the artificial intelligence, the enemy intelligence and stuff like that. I have a feeling it's going to be leaps and bounds better on the Lockhart and Anaconda, where it's more of a challenge. It's more getting into the game.
It's all subjective because that's not really subjective, but it can and cannot in some ways.
It depends on exactly what you say. Do.
Because there's some game engines that are more CPU intensive, like Crytek's engine, and then there and a lot of the engines that Bethesda uses. The Source engine, not Source engine. Origin, whatever it's called, that trash engine,
and even Ubisoft's engine as well. Like it's been more on the CPU side than anything.
Yeah, but then you have like Unreal, which is like more on the GPU side. So it's like it really depends on the game, and if you cut in half the number of the number of teraflops in the GPU, but you have the same CPU in the Lockhart, it's like, is this really an upgrade to what I already have right now? In some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. And I'm just like, what? If I'm going to upgrade, I'm going to upgrade to something that's hands down, way better than what I'm already using. Which is like I have a launch PS4. I'm definitely getting a PS5 because my PS4, Sony's not going to allow me to play games that are on the PS5.
Slow-mo, quick question for you here, because at the end of the day, you're the winner at the end of this. But I got to say, you didn't know this when we were walking into mid-gen console refresh, okay, this generation. Why didn't you get a PS4 Pro? Because, I mean, now at the end of the day, I know majority of people that I talk to are still playing on the original PS4, and the games look absolutely exquisite. So that extra power that Sony promised really wasn't there as much as people wanted it to be. You're the victor at the end of this, but what made you hold on the mid-gen refresh?
For the same reason I won't get the Lockhart over the X, because the PS4 Pro was not that big of a jump from the PS4. And so
you were going from 1440. You're getting 1880p. You were sitting at 1080p locked. I mean, you didn't feel that was enough?
No, not really. I mean, look at God of War. God of War, my base PlayStation looks amazing. I get HDR with Detroit Become Human, God of War, Spider-Man, and Uncharted 4. All these games look freaking amazing on my base PlayStation 4. And all I get is a slight resolution bump. Even with God of War, when it first launched, they had frame rate issues on the Pro, but not on the base console. So technically at launch, it played better on the base console. It's just the Pro just was not, and still is not to me, that big of a. If you don't have a PlayStation at all, okay, go get the Pro. Go get the best one, right?
Right.
But if you already have a PlayStation 4, I see no reason to go to a Pro at all.
I got to be honest with you. And again, that's why I had to say what I said in the beginning before I asked you the question. I said, you are the victor. You actually walk away the winner there for not upgrading, not spending that extra money. The only positive I will say to all of you that were like in Mooch's predicament
VR.
Well, VR was definitely help with the Pro. But I'll also say this much, that you'll get more for trade-in with your Pro, I would assume.
That is
right?
true.
I mean, so is it the differential you paid? No, I still think Slow-Mo's the winner there. But what about you, Knox? Knox, you've got a PS4. You have a Pro currently?
Yeah, I have a Pro. I have a vanilla.
Are you in the market for the Lockhart, or are you going all Anaconda all the way?
I'm probably gonna pick up one of each, more than likely, bro. Because I would pick up the Anaconda for me, like I said before, and then the Lockhart for the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And save a couple of dollars. They don't give a shit about no bells and whistles shit.
No, he's right.
And it is gonna be. I could do that, or I could even hand them down my X. You know what I'm saying? And not even have to get the Lockhart. Really, I could like hold off on that. Matter of fact.
Yeah, this is the thing I'm wondering, and I guess there is a market out there. I mean, money talks, guys. I mean, so if this thing is $399 or $350, or there's people out there that are even saying that Lockhart could flirt with $299 crap. If that's the case, I mean,
insanity, I tell you,
it's crazy. But I mean, like at the
probably
same
the
time,
same people telling you the PS5 was coming in 2019.
Right, that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, at the same time, I do think I just question when somebody says, and me and Sully have some great conversations on this.
Sully!
I really think that I can't see anyone that's hardcore if you're going into the next generation only buying a Lockhart. I think you got to go Anaconda. I really, really do. And if you have gaming systems right now in your house and Anaconda is going to be your primary console, you do that, you trade it in, you get the most money you can. You get top dollar when you're one of the first one when the console releases. Do that and get your top dollar. I don't know if Clowns, I was trying to see if Clowns could talk. Clowns is always great when talking about the different consoles and trading things in, but we'll hit Clowns up later. He's got family at the house.
Oh, no, he's saying.
I could talk as long as you guys don't hear any background noise.
That's all right. Good? Background noise comes with the territory. What do you think about this whole Lockhart thing? I mean, is this a console that's in your future?
Mooch, I always like upgrading early. So I am going to be one of the day one buyers. I'm always that way. But I do expect mid-gen stuff to, of course, come out and be better.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing about it, though, is you've got the Anaconda, which is going to be the powerhouse, rumored to be around $599. And then you've got this that's rumored to be around $399. That's a $200 differential for 4 years. Do the math, guys. It's not worth it. 1080p 60? Crap. I mean, that's
just rumor right now, brother. We don't even know that right now.
It's not possible for it to be 1080p 60. If it's gonna be identical, the GPUs it's gonna be slightly better than the X, and the and the CPU is gonna be better. The GPU is gonna be slightly better, and the CPU is gonna be even better than the bullshit Jaguar that's in there. So it's gonna be better. And if the X can do 4K, then the Lockhart's gonna do 4K too.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way it can't, bro. Like,
but insiders,
I don't understand.
It's not on this, man. Like, I think it will too.
Yeah, I don't see how it can't. The X does it now.
But the insiders, docs, they've said 1080 60, even after Microsoft has pushed 4K for the past 2.5 years already.
Dude, not only that,
insiders. Why would the insiders lie to us? Why?
But
crap, it's madness, Knox. Madness.
Crap, if it's half the GPU of the Anaconda, what's the Anaconda rumored to be?
They're saying, what, 14 T-flop, something like that?
So you're still going to be better than the X on the GPU, and then you're still going to have a better CPU. I shout out to Immortal in the chat. He says, Mooch, Lockhart will be 1440p 60. I mean, that's got, I think that might be.
Well, here's the thing. I've heard multiple people complain about Rage. Okay, Rage went 1080p 60. A lot of people are used to that 4K. You know what I mean? And I've heard people complain, man, I hope they do a 4K update to this, even if it cuts into the frame rate, right? Like, why not give us an option to do 4K? Now, I haven't played the game, but I will say I'm probably one of the people that plays, Forza Horizon 4 at the 4K 30 by myself.
Dude,
you know
I do that as well. I do it as well.
It's such a hit to the graphics for me on a 4K screen. Same thing when I played Gears. When I went back and played the Gears campaign, even after they did the update, to do the single player, a 1080p 60, it looked like a 360 game. I was like, screw that. Give me the bells and whistles 4K, baby. That's what I'm talking about, man. I didn't get a 4K TV to play 1080p games. Come on.
That's the only way I upgrade right at the gate is if they do a custom console or they let me configure my God box on their website. That's it.
God box.
The God box.
The God box.
Let me. Go ahead.
The only thing, this is the main reason why when I hear 1080p 60, I'm like, yo, you guys are crazy. Like, if that's what it's going to be. Because if you look at the television industry itself, even moving into this holiday season, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a 1080p television. And so when it goes to that is going to be the common denominator. Like, anybody picking up new TVs, Black Friday, everything like that, you're going to get 4K for dirt cheap, and they're making 4K the standard when it comes to a television. So why the hell are you going to make a new series of hardware and say 1080p 60 frames per second?
Man, the Lockhart is going to do 1440 60 to 4K 30. That's what it's going to do.
Okay, I'm down with that. That's fine. that puts it right there in kind of like that price point where it'll actually, it'll grab like some people's eyes and be like, well, that's a lower price point, and I'm not really sacrificing too much. I'm getting all the AI, all the physics, and everything from the new CPU. I'm down to go with that, yo.
Yeah.
Me? I'm Anaconda, baby.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, listen, I always love the lead up, but now that we've been talking, this is the one thing I don't like about rumors. I don't like when rumors and all these things come out so early, because then the snowball turns into an avalanche, and we don't really know all the figures. I can't wait to start discussing it when we know what the power is going to be. The price we can always debate. The price is always debatable.
Brother.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll know half the equation though. Xbox, we won't know what the PS5
we'll have
will be
a lot
doing.
of stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
Man. I can guarantee that, bro.
Well, speaking of things to talk about, we've been saying for the better part, if not all this generation, that Sony's marketing skills are through the roof. And there's something that I saw a lot of people weren't talking about, but it hit my radar. And I'll be watching both of these over the course of the weekend, or at least one of them. I know that. I'm not sure if the second one came out yet, but Sony's making.
Hold on, Mooch. I just realized something.
What happened?
In this whole partnership between Sony and Microsoft for the cloud.
Yes.
One of the things that Microsoft is getting is they're getting classes in how to market for the future.
Really?
Now that's a win-win right there, right?
Is that true?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Hopefully they're getting marketing classes, man. I'm just saying.
They certainly. Well, they don't need marketing classes. All they do is turn on Sony's YouTube channel. I think right. So Sony's doing documentaries on their gaming titles, and the latest two are Days Gone Behind the Music, and of course, Raising Kratos. These are genius moves, and I don't like. Listen, remember what I said? You don't give credit unless credit's due. Well, in this case, credit is due. These games are out. One has been out over a year. And here now you bring everybody back, watching how they made it, seeing what's going on, getting thoughts and interviews with the developers and the artists and I got to be honest with you, it brings people. There's people who and shout out to Noof Nukem, who's like, what I felt like he didn't say boom kaboom. He didn't say it was because the documentary, but he did say that he's in the mood to play documentary. Documentary. Right? So, anyways,
Wolfenstein.
Documentary.
Terry and documents. What I think is important here is that you get people going back to the title. What do you guys think about this? Why not do something like that for Halo? Now, they've done similar things on Halo Channel, but I think they've missed the mark. This seems to be something that was quick, easy to watch.
On Showtime, man.
Jeez, Xbot, we've been told about that since 2012, huh?
Yeah, well, it would have been out sooner if they didn't have to do a 180. I'm just saying.
Well, heat thins. Good one, Antonio Alicia. See, exactly. Heat thins. It's documentary.
What did I say?
Documentary.
Oh, all right. Well, I like to put a hyphen.
Now I'm on wheat thins. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Heat thins.
Dude, it is always a good idea. It is always a good idea when it comes to these games to add on content, because like when it comes to like the whole music of Days Gone or something, somebody might come across that and listen to the music like, wow, this is really good.
Days Gone's soundtrack is just short of awesome. I mean, amazing. I love it. I actually think it's a great soundtrack, and the fact that they did something and put that out on it, it emphasizes that one key thing that maybe some people have noticed, but it's been in the background, and they brought it to the forefront. And it's the same thing with Raising Kratos and showing all of and I didn't watch it yet, so I've only seen snippets, and the little bit that I'm seeing, it looks like it's a true behind the scenes. Has anybody watched the documentary?
I've watched it.
Thank you. Slow-mo, what do you think? Tell us about it, please.
I thought it was excellent. It was very well done. There was actually some parts, me being a father and the guy from Stargate that does the voice for Kratos, what he was talking about. There's a part where he talks about playing the role of Kratos, and when he was doing those lines, I guess he was kind of like internalizing him as a father and the mistakes that he's made and the triumphs that he's had. And it was just like, you can really tell like the emotion on his face. He was really being real with it. And the guy kind of got to me for a moment. I can relate, it was just that. And also the other part where later on in the documentary, they asked questions to some of the devs that worked on the game and about like the crunch and the cost and of everything. And
What'd they say?
Like the two devs they asked that question to both looked at each other like, are you gonna be for real? Are you gonna really gonna say, you know? And then one of them kind of gave like a very PC, very I'm just gonna let it slide, very nice answer.
Right.
And the other one just was like, I'm not going to answer this question. It's just I'm not going to do it. And I think later on, I think that's the one. I'm kind of confusing that with the Telltale one that I watched in the same day. But that particular developer, she was just like, I don't want to answer the question.
How long was it, Slow-Mo?
Like an hour and 20, maybe an hour and 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's really good. I think that one's done by NoClip, but if I recall correctly. And NoClip is a YouTube channel that just all they do is documentaries and gaming, and they're really great. I really like this stuff. I think that one's done by NoClip. I might be confusing that one also with the Telltale one, but yeah, I thought it was a great documentary.
But Slow-Mo, do you see what I mean? How it brings the titles back to the forefront again. Right? It's got people talking about it. It's got buzz. It's something that's, I think, quite inexpensive for Sony to put out. I mean, the amount of money that Xbox puts into Inside Xbox, where they flew their entire staff to England. They had all those McLarens and all those fancy cars outside of that one estate. And all those people that they flew out there were drinking champagne and eating all kinds of what do they call it? Their escargot, thank you. And enjoy, right? And they're driving around in those cars and blah, blah, blah. That costs millions of dollars. Meanwhile, Sony does an actual tribute and a behind the scenes of a beloved game. And that's what you'd spend the money on, not watching like iJustine do like donuts in England. Right. So, I mean, I don't understand personally how the two, this is what I'm saying. And Xbox goes, come on, Mooch. He's like, they're doing a Halo show on Showtime. They are Xbox, and I can't wait to watch it, but we've been waiting since 2013. 2012.
Well, but hold on. Slow-Mo.
It took this long to find a director?
Slow-Mo did say that the Kratos, the God of War one was from a YouTube channel that does documentaries. So
I got that confused. I just double check. I think that this one did come from Sony themselves.
I would believe this
and then when you think about it, like if they decided that they were going to do this while they were producing and developing the game, does it really cost them a lot to make these things? That's what I think. There is what I think is genius about it.
Yes.
Like, you put the production in while the game is being developed. After the game releases, wait a little while and then release the documentary. Right, crap? Documentary?
It's documentary.
Documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Documentary.
But that's the genius
Release
part.
the doc.
Harry's documentary.
Called the doc.
That's when they release the doc. But that there's a genius in it, because if you're doing it while the game's being developed, it's very little money to do that. Like you said, it brings people kind of back to the title. It might even broaden, the demographic. People who check out, like you said, the music behind Days Gone, which I didn't hear Slow-Mo say he watched that at all, which is a little weird right there. But something like that can bring somebody who's into music. It's like, man, I might want to try that game. I have this PS4 over here. It's gathering dust. I might want to pick that game up and check it out or whatnot. So it could definitely broaden that whole thing. It's a good overall thing in terms of general content around games, right? Halo does it really well when it comes to the books, comic books, stuff like that. And it's just another layer that'll keep people talking about that world, those characters, and keep them kind of like going until the next game comes out, man.
Yeah, that is true. Like you have the fiction novels. I think they did those with Gears. They did them with Halo as well. I've read all of those. I'm a big when I play Gears for the campaign. When I play Halo for the campaign and the PvP. But I'm a big fan of both of those IP. So like that kind of stuff, it does kind of keep you going. And kind of like for between Gears 2 and Gears 3, there's like 2 books. Right. So like a lot of the characters in Gears 3 that you see, like Jace and that other chick with the huge titties. I can't remember her name. Those
Objectifying, misogyny.
I will let it pass, sir.
Those characters were in the books, and so I knew them already and kind of knew some information about them. Like when you see certain characters in certain situations, it's like, oh yeah, because I know why that person is there. And it's a good way to kind of keep people engaged in the franchise until you come out with your next game.
I did that with Ty Calisso was my favorite from Gears 2. The I don't know if many of you guys know him, but in I think Gears 2 he used to say stuff like "We eat tonight" and stuff like that. Was probably my favorite character. Went crazy and killed himself in the game, but yeah, it was like my favorite character for a long time. And when you get the chance to be him in the newer Gears games, I always pick him as well. But those expanded universes are pretty cool. I like to see those actually come out. So yeah, nice stuff there. I like it.
Yeah, and when it's done correctly, it's excellent, and it gives like it really reinvests the community into the games. When it's not done correctly, is when you get like Halo Guardians, where your marketing campaign
don't dare make fun of my game, sir. Don't dare make fun of my game.
And look, okay. They came out with a podcast, a great podcast, by the way. Hunt the Truth. I would still.
Dude, I was hanging every week for that next episode, man. I was like,
it was amazing. It's 2 seasons,
and
I recommend you check it out. It's amazing. It has all the intrigue and cinematic and stuff. Is great. Too bad it has nothing to do.
Has nothing to do with the game, though.
Yep, no, it has nothing to do with the game at all. And it's just like they tried to make you give the feeling that like, oh, this is really going to tie into Halo Guardians somehow. Too bad it doesn't. And it's just like that's where they dropped the ball with it. But they're like, there is a way to do it that gets people really hyped for the game, and then there's a way you don't do it.
Well, let me do this, guys. I want to talk about E3 for a second. And Crap did a great thing on Xbox Nation where he kind of did, our pre-received thoughts of what's going to be coming down the pipeline, the snack. But Crap, I want to ask you this. You had an article that you were just going to discuss. I don't think we got to it on Wednesday. You said EA scales back on E3's plans even more. No conference at all. Eliminates 3 days of streaming down to just one. And my question to the panel was, I'm not going to sit here and say is E3 irrelevant. We know that's just not true, okay? Because E3 will be back in the news to top billing once everybody like reconceives and comes back again next year when E3 is big, when Sony's back. But I mean, why is EA scaling back, Crap? Is it because of the bad publicity this year, or they just don't want to show everything?
Bad publicity, backlash. I don't think they have much. I mean, they got that Jedi game.
Yeah,
they've got Madden. I just don't think they have a ton to show. Like, look, Anthem. What are they going to show? Dragon Age. That's still very much in, I guess, concept form or whatever. Anthem really shit the bed for them.
Yeah.
That's they realistically should just.
You show Sessions.
Yeah, Sessions. That's But I don't know. They got no Titanfall. Apex is out. What do they have?
They don't have a lot.
They have Fallen Order and
Fallen Order. That's it.
And Sessions.
And Madden.
Sessions,
and
but
FIFA.
Oh.
And Madden, FIFA, yeah.
Save their money. We'll have them work on making games and listening to their audience a little bit more. Like I don't understand how hard that is to listen to your audience and implement what they want and less of what they don't want.
Why is that so difficult in the gaming business, Crap?
Well, I think it's difficult because EA is a big corporation, sort of like Microsoft, kind of hovering over these smaller companies that they own, and they like the idea of games as a service and so and forcing them to cut costs by using their engine on everything, and that engine is good for shooters.
Yeah,
right. That's why you get Battlefield's good and Battlefront is good, but it's not good for, like, I hated the look of the characters in Dragon Age. What was it, 3 or whatever? Yeah. Inquisition. Like they looked like plastic figures or something. It didn't look right.
Yeah, they were too shiny.
Yeah, and it's not a good, and that's been a problem for them. So let developers do what they want in terms of that kind of. So what if they got to pay a royalty fee on Unreal? There's a reason why Unreal Engine is on so many games, because it looks badass.
Yeah, and it works.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah,
like let people use it.
I agree with Crap, and I do wonder the amount of money they're saving off of not licensing Unreal. Are you really saving money because now you're paying your developers monthly, their salaries, the cost of creating the game, and it's taking even longer as they're trying to learn how to do this stuff in your proprietary engine, as well as the engine didn't have all the tools within the engine already there like Unreal does, so they had to create those tools in order to make the game. So that's taking even more time, that's spending even more money. So did you really save any money here?
Right. Great point, Slow-Mo. Great point. This is late breaking news. Lawbreakers has now just passed Anthem in players' user base. So sorry about that. I love Anthem, I really do, but I think that might be another reason they pulled back crap is because they probably had a huge Anthem DLC thing to talk about, and they're not going to talk about it.
That was the one thing that I was going to say with them having to push back the roadmap for Anthem and have to reconfigure exactly what they're going to do with that game in terms of content and stuff. I feel like that was a major hit to EA with what they're doing, in June, right. and with their streaming and stuff like that. Because if they had the roadmap kind of like down pat when it came to Anthem, they could have shown like the beginning of a Cataclysm and gotten into other different forms of content. Oh, this is what we're doing to change up the gun sets and stuff like that, and they don't have any of that content right now to show anybody.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Xbot, and I think that's part of the reason. And I do have Xbot, while I have you and Pred here on the panel, I've got to ask you, because I know you guys have both played it, or I believe you have. I have not, but Hunt Showdown has made its way into the Xbox Insiders program this week. Ooh. Have you guys gotten a chance to play it on Xbox yet?
I definitely haven't played it on Xbox yet. I tried. For some reason, I thought it was out the day that I downloaded it, and it wasn't ready. And then I guess something happened. They pushed it back so they can, I guess they extended it or something like that till Monday. But I still haven't played it. I'm going to play it tonight. But I've already played it on PC, so it's more of the same.
Yeah, I've gotten into the game for a little bit. I will let people know that if you're an insider, this is a beta. This is actually a beta. There are bugs. There are glitches. You get knocked offline, all that good stuff. There are definitely issues with this game.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Xbot, because one of the questions I was going to ask you guys on the panel was, wouldn't this be a cool little thing to kind of throw the folks that are your Game Pass members? No, you're saying no, right? It's not ready.
No, they can't, because they got to be, they got to sign that shit.
It's got to have understood. I thought it was more of really like a trial a few weeks before it launches big.
No,
not at all. Just setting it up right now for everybody that's trying it out to
Is the release date this holiday?
I don't know when the release date is.
That's when I would think it is, man, to be really honest with you.
I wouldn't be surprised if they say it's coming to Game Pass right around E3.
Well, not with Xbox bugs that he's talking about. Right? Yeah, preview. Yes. Okay, game preview. I was going to say, I don't think it's coming to Game Pass quite yet.
Brother, the one thing I want to say about this is the atmosphere of this game is absolutely incredible. Like having to walk around, crouch around, and not like startle any type of birds or walk on any glass, and trying to find clues to get you to that end monster that you want to take out and you want to grab the bounty for. Dude, the atmosphere is so thick.
Sound is my favorite part of this game.
It's so scary to be there, especially if you're there by yourself as well. Because I was there with, I think I was getting teamed up with randos, but I was going off and doing my own thing.
Is it a battle royale style? What kind of style game?
Teams of two. Pred, how many teams of two are there on the map?
4 teams of 2. And you can also do solo as well on the PC side right now. But there's 4 teams of 2. Basically, you're going around, you're collecting clues to kill the boss. Once you get the boss, and there's sometimes I haven't played it on Xbox, but there's usually like 2 bounties you get from each boss. Once you get the bounties, you have to extract. But and it's
there are zombies there. There are hellhounds, all sorts of things just walking around in the map that will definitely get in your way.
Yeah, fuck you up.
Dude, they're no joke either.
But to me, I said that my biggest part about this game that I love from the very beginning of playing it is the sound. like there's like you can just be walking, like everything is based off of sound. So like if you hit glass, you know, you rattle a chain or something like that, all the zombies hear that shit. They start converging on you. You know, so you actually, it's more like a stealthy type game, but you also have other players trying to kill you too.
Right.
So they can hear all the sounds as well. They hear you shooting weapons off in the distance. They'll know what direction you're coming from.
It's you're playing alongside with your partner there, but then at the same time you also have the elements of the world.
Yep.
I gotta be honest with you. See, now here's my thing. I love this. Unfortunately, see, I hang out with Pred, I hang out with Space Cat, and these guys that are big time gamers. Like, I can already hear Pred's voice. Pred has played so much Hunt Showdown. By the time I get it, he's already bored of it. That's what sucks. Because like I can already tell you're kind of like over it.
No. I'm not playing it that much for that specific reason. I played
because that happened with PUBG. Remember, Pred?
Yeah, and I burned myself out on it because no one else had it but me that I play with. Because again, I'm gaming on PC, and my fan base or my friends list on PC is not nearly as large as on Xbox. So,
well, I'm glad you're holding off, Pred, because I'd like to enjoy Hunt Showdown with you. That's just, you know. That being said, guys, it's 9:00. It's Friday night. You guys are going to be gaming. You're going out. You're drinking. You're eating. You're doing things. It's an amazing panel. We had an amazing discussion. There was a lot of back and forth tonight. I got to be honest with you. I am just over the top overwhelmed. Awesome chat. Thanks to all the super chat. Thanks to everybody who's here. Thanks to people who are listening later. Hit the subscribe button. And let me go down here and start in reverse order here. If I can remember right, I'll do it best myself. Noximus Knox, who comes in and absolutely slays the audience and slays the topics. Awesome to have you here. Knox, can you let people know where they can find you? And I know you got a new video out, brother.
Yeah, man. Mooch, yo. Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, bro. You know, like always, I enjoy me some CrossFire.
Yes, sir.
It is the shiznit. But yeah, man. I just put a new video out in Knox We Trust right here on YouTube. So go ahead and go check that shit out. Wednesdays, Xbox Nation. Saturday, all right. Tomorrow, the next podcast.
Yeah.
You already know. Let's get it in.
That's my man, Knox. Thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate it. And then I got Predator Pred. Yo, man, like I said, just got done saying, man, love playing games, hanging out with you. You're one of the most real people I know. Let people know where they can find you this upcoming week.
You can catch me out on WXBN on Fridays when Mooch announces me. And anywhere else. You guys tune in.
You should patent that voice, by the way, buddy. There's a lot of money in that voice. I appreciate it, Pred. Thank you so much, buddy. And then I got my buddy Slow-Mo Backslap, who Slow-Mo hung out with me last night. We streamed Division 2. Slow-Mo, I hope you're not tired of Mooch because I'm going to be bugging you for at least the next 7 days. I've got to get up to raid ready. I want Division 2 to be my go-to game as far as my looter, grindy kind of game for the next foreseeable future. So thank you for being here tonight and let people know where they can find you this weekend.
Hey, no problem, man. I am always willing to help. You got a long way to go to get the raid ready.
Yes, I do.
But yeah, you guys can catch me on Twitter, same name, Slow-Mo Backslap. I'm also on the Brat Podcast with Enrique, B Money, Eric Jackson, and Gaming Forte. That's on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Easterns, and also on the Scumcast with the Ash and Luca. And the whole crew there. Tomorrow it's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern. No, 9
p.m. Central.
Central? Okay, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Central.
Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be wild because we got metaphorical, whatever his name is, Meta is going to be coming on, going to tell us how Cloud, he was right about cloud gaming last year, and he's completely wrong about everything. So it's gonna be a nice roast session. So come check us out.
Absolutely. Let me give a shout out to Enrique too for Brap. Absolutely a great show. You, Eric, and him do a great show. And it's Gaming Forte too, I believe.
Yep.
You guys kill it on Wednesday nights. Thank you so much, Slow-Mo. You'll be back on the show. We got to get you back on here. Your opinions are very similar to Mooch, so we got to have you back on here. That being said, buddy, I've got one of my usual suspects, Xbot 448, occasionally known for 844. Buddy, let people know. I know you got something huge going on tomorrow, buddy.
I am the pirate 448 right now.
Yes, you are.
Thieves, brother. But yeah, guys, beginning of the Gamers Weekend started with Crossfire, and we're just gonna move it right on to Saturday night, 7 p.m. for the next podcast. Over on my channel, Xbot448, you guys are definitely going to want to tune in. We have E3 predictions going on, and of course, we have Noximus's gameplay in the winner's circle, definitely check it out tomorrow, 7 p.m. on my channel.
Totally appreciate that, buddy. And then I got my Italian paisano who's not sinking. He's eating dinner while we're all here waiting. Italian Clowns, let people know where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, man. So now it's going to be on Mondays for as recorders. Inferno left the whole thing to me while he is taking a sabbatical, probably permanently. And then
I heard he's training in Tibet. He's training with the monks to come back as like the podcaster.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I think Inferno 448 might be a thing.
Oh no, you can't take my number, man.
Are you sure? Halo 3 anniversary too. I think he's coming back with that.
Oh, I will battle. I will battle.
What time's it on Monday nights, Clowns?
Because Taylor's coming back, Zebra Fries, and she can only do Mondays.
That's fine. What time?
We're looking at 5 Eastern, I think. We're just making sure nobody else has a podcast at that time.
Perfect for the drive home, buddy. I'll be there. I know that. And shout out to Zebra Fries, too. It's been a while since we got a chance to hang out with her. We'll have to get her on Crossfire.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right, buddy. Clowns, great to have you here. And then last but certainly not least, my co-host on the MNC show. We'll be there at 11 a.m. on my channel this Sunday. Crap Gamer, where can people find you this weekend?
Oh, Gamer Reviews. Let's get out of here, man. I got me a wife waiting for me, or a future wife waiting for me.
Gotta get that sciatic massage.
More than that tonight, bro. More than that tonight.
There we go. Let's keep it PG, guys. We'll see you
Get
next
the hell outta
Friday,
here.
7 p.m. Eastern time on the Mooch 78. We'll catch you later. Peace.
Peace.